So guess what just popped up in my YouTube feed this morning? Now, in case you missed it, and it's kind of making its rounds here on YouTube, Jeremy Boring, former CEO of the Daily Wire, has been doing these interviews with the PBD, or he did an interview with the PBD podcast, Valuetainment. And it's very revealing about what was going on at the Daily Wire. So I'm going to share 3 clips with you. By the way, welcome back to the channel, Culture Confederacy here. It's Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. And if you're new, what you see is what you get. We talk about history preservation, culture, current events or topics related to history preservation, culture. And thank you again for watching and subscribing. So let's get to this, and we'll try to get through this as quickly as I can, just for the sake of time. But he drove the company, and they used to have these 10:30 in the morning meetings, and here is what played out.
I know that I wasn't an easy guy to work for. We'd start our day every day with what we called the 10:30 meeting, where we would get an assortment of people together, from the top executives in the company to a lot of the management of the company, and we would just make sure that everyone was sort of chasing the same set of priorities, especially in a news business.
We got to have the same set of priorities now.
Require an immediate pivot, some story break, some opportunity for one of the hosts appears. Those aren't things that you plan weeks or even days in advance. So you have to be very responsive.
Well, of course.
And I would often say in the 10:30 meeting, I know that I'm a difficult person to work for. I know that if you're looking for work-life balance, this probably isn't the company for you. I don't really believe in the concept of work-life balance.
He doesn't believe in the concept of work-life balance. Interesting.
We're building a rocket ship while it's in flight, and that's one of the hardest things you can ever do. But that's
what?
What we have to do to pursue.
Whoa! You're building a rocket ship in flight? Last time I checked, rocket ships are built on the ground. They're tested or go through some type of test flight, and then they're flown to make sure they fly correctly.
The mission, to pursue the mission of the company. And so in that way, I'm certainly aware that I was a tough boss.
He was a tough boss.
I'm also aware that I really drove the company. The style of leadership.
You slave driver.
Was very hands-on, and I was very in the weeds with my team, and every day choosing a direction, ordering the priorities of the company, and keeping everyone on mission.
So tell me what you think of the comment section below of that statement. We're building a rocket ship in flight. Boy, if that happened to every airline, we'd have no airlines. So let's go to the second clip here. The Pendragon cycle. Oh, this is good. This is good, folks.
I sort of learned this from Elon Musk. And it's that in
the great Elon Musk.
Company, this isn't true for every company. Like, you couldn't do this if you had an accounting firm. But in certain kinds of companies, part of what you're selling to the audience is a vision for what the future can be. The Daily Wire was saying to our audience, there is a future where conservatives aren't losing. There's a future where we have political power and cultural power.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you not supposed to mix business and politics? Now, my day job is working at a hotel, and it's true that every year from January through March, we have our state sessions, so a lot of the legislators, some of them, will stay at our hotel. But that's the extent of the relationship. We host whatever, events they might have happening, and then they pay whatever the cost is for renting that space, but that's business. But we're not handing out, different cards to the guest or anything like that, telling them who to vote for.
If you look at Jeremy's Razors and some of the things we did in consumer goods, we're also represented in the consumer goods space, where every single company isn't against you all the time. And as you sell that vision to the audience, the vision has to be ahead of where you are, because it has to inspire. Elon's great at this. Elon's, I'm sure you've got a deposit in on a Roadster or whatever, the Tesla Roadster. I've got a deposit on it. When are we going to get it? I don't know. Do you think he's going to give it to you? Yeah, because that's the other thing. You
But Jeremy, that item, or pardon me, that product, pardon me, that product goes through rigorous testing. They come up with a prototype, they create the model, they test it out, and if it works in a small sampling, when they sell it to a handful of people, and if it's successful, then they'll put it on the market because they know that that product is probably going to take off. Is he selling an Etzel here?
You have to deliver on those promises. So you're always making a promise that's a little further ahead than where you are, and you can keep that going as long as you come along behind it and deliver. So
yes and no. Again, there's got to be something there. For example, our company, we have 60 properties with our hotel. With our company, pardon me again. And we just recently acquired a property, I think somewhere maybe in Wyoming, I can't remember. But our company just didn't buy that property on a whim. They had meetings about it. They looked at what their stocks are, and made a decision from there whether or not it was a good investment. Just like they invested money in doing some renovations to our property, giving an update, new paint job, new carpeting, etc., etc. But yes, you want to look towards the future, but you need to make sure you have something now that's going to be able to invest in the future.
So we sold the Gina Carano movie before we made it. And then we made it, and it was good.
So you sold the product before you had it, and then you made it. Shouldn't you have had that product made first before you sold it?
We sold the kids platform, Binky, before we made it. And then we released
it. The model is, if you want us to do this, come help us support.
And you should see Patrick's face in this, his expression. It's classic. It's classic.
It's a for-profit business, but it is like, come alongside us and help us build the future. Your subscription gets you everything that we are now, but your subscription is also going to get you the things that we will be as a result of your subscription.
Got it.
And so same with Pendragon.
Because we have what we have now, and we're able to invest in something in the future.
When we first acquired the rights,
if we have it,
we took them along on the journey with us as we made it. And yeah, it was bigger than anything we had ever made. It's bigger than anything any conservative media company has made in my lifetime.
How successful was it?
I was gone I'd been gone for a year when they released it.
Folks, I just don't have the words here. It sounds to me, just a casual observer here, it sounds to me like they were, can we say, flying by the seat of their pants on a lot of this. So let's go to the last clip. Oh, and this is juicy. They're dancing on our grave. Listen to this. Listen to this. And again, pardon the volume on the audio here. I'm doing this from my laptop, so.
And then I suspect that there's just the realities of a transition. If you're implementing a new business strategy for the company, you're implementing new governance strategy for the company, a new leadership team for the company, new executives at almost every department of the company over the last year. Even if that strategy all bears out to be successful, there's just going to be some rough patches in the transition.
Well, of course, there always is when you have a transition.
That's all you're seeing. I think a lot of people are kind of dancing on Daily Wire's grave because Daily Wire's been ascendant for over a decade, and nobody, America loves underdogs. We don't really love number one.
We're dancing on our grave. You're dancing on our grave at the Daily Wire. Nobody's dancing on your grave, Jeremy Boring. People are just asking questions about what happened. Transparency. That's all. We're not dancing on your grave.
So I think there's a lot of people who are kind of eagerly dancing on Daily Wire's grave. I just think that that's unfounded. Daily Wire still has 9 figures of revenue. Daily Wire still has some of the most talented people in the movement working for them.
In the movement? I thought this was a business. Now it's a movement. I'm a little confused here.
I suspect that all the people who are sort of cheering their demise are going to be disappointed by the fact that their demise is not at hand. They're just going through the difficulties that businesses go through.
When we set out to
Okay, so he's going into a commercial here, so I'll just stop it here. But tell me what you think in the comment section below. I thought I'd share this with you. Again, sorry about the audio. It is what it is. We do this channel rough, which is the beauty of the channel. I do it as it is. And I'm not trying to hide anything here. But how do you like that? You're dancing on our grave. Well, you're no longer with the company, Jeremy Boring. And this whole idea of testing a rocket ship in flight, you can't make it up, folks. You can't make it up. So you all have a great Thursday. Follow me at Instagram, Jason197711. I'm also on Substack, or go to Culture Confederacy at Culture Confed 1 on X. This is the Culture Confederacy saying peace out. Stay safe, everybody. God bless. Keep up the culture, and I'll catch you next time.